lockdowns, but our Chris Sedens tells us a new study finds the lockdowns were not the leading cause of extreme loneliness and psychological distress.
Researchers at UC Irvine say people who consumed several hours of COVID-19 related media every day, be it TV, radio, or on the internet, were among those most likely to experience extreme traumatic stress. The study's lead author is Dr. Roxane Cohen Silver.
We have seen the importance of monitoring one's media intake, especially when the news is all bad and all you're hearing about is death and tragedy. It's not psychologically beneficial to keep repeating that bad story.
Dr. Silver says her researchers found that state restrictions in the first 6 months of the pandemic, while burdensome, were not related to the worsening of mental health conditions. Chris Sedens, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Stress during the peak of the pandemic, our Chris Sedens says you might be surprised by what a new study determined was among the leading causes.
For many people, being stuck at home during the lockdowns took its toll. But researchers at UC Irvine say people who consumed several hours of COVID-19 related media every day were the most likely to experience loneliness and traumatic stress.
As you may remember, it was all bad news all the time.
The study's lead author is Dr. Roxane Cohen Silver.
The more hours that people were immersed in media about the pandemic, the more likely they were to exhibit symptoms of acute and traumatic stress.
Despite concern that stay-at-home orders at the start of the pandemic would cause lasting harm to people's mental health, the research team found that state restrictions in the first 6 months of the pandemic were not related to worse mental health conditions. Chris Sedens, KNX News 97.1 FM.